This is the SHIB coin reading for August 2022. It's currently August 1st, 2022, 9:27 p.m. That's Eastern time. The overall theme and behavior for the month is the worry card crossed with the abundance card. So we have a decline through a support level to meet a second support level, and then we rotate sideways along support, and then it's crossed with the move up through a resistance level, and we stay there briefly before breaking back down through that same price level. Looks like I'm advised to buy some protection at the beginning of the month. I'm advised to buy protection at the beginning of the month. Looks like we have lows towards the end of the month there. But it's a bit of a choppy reading. We have behavior around the month's high will be the completion of a rally that's going up along a diagonal trend line, and it completes with the fast sudden move higher, and then a breakdown through that diagonal trend line with increasing volatility on the way down. Definitely want to take a trade, make a trade at the month's high here. We have, this is the 1 year for SHIB, and we have the Princess of Wands card here in the high correlated position. Also advising a trade there. So early in the month, a trade. What I'm really waiting for, because I don't trade too frequently anymore, I just have too much stuff going on. But I am looking forward to a bullish move out of this low that we see at the end of August or early September. Behavior around the low for the month is going to be the beginning of a rally with a notable move higher on a one month chart. It'll stand out. There's also a trade. There's a pretty juicy trade, a quick one. It looks like it's pretty juicy here. I'm going to point it out in just a minute. So we have here on like the 9th, the 10th, and the 11th, there's a trade there. Well, if you could short SHIB coin, there's a trade. I don't know if you can short SHIB coin. But we have a notable decline here on the 10th. Notable decline on the 10th, it looks like. After meeting resistance, there's a failed attempt to break through key resistance, followed by a decline through support somewhere around like the 9th or 10th. These are key levels, and we come to a trough or a key, prominent trough on a 1 month chart here around the 11th. All right, so we have we start off the month with a month's low, or a first like notable low here, a prominent trough, and there's a rally that increases with the momentum moving out of that trough as we move forward in time. There's one local low, so on a 1 day chart, what I mean by local low is that on a 1 day chart we have like a one prominent low that'll stand out on a 1 day chart for the first. We have selling from a overbought crest on the 2nd, and it looks like on the 3rd a notable move to the upside. There's one local low on the 3rd. It takes place near resistance level, so it looks like we probably move through resistance, being that resistance level stands out at the low and it's a key resistance. You probably move through it. On the 4th, we have bearish price swings and a sharp drop within the midst of those bearish price swings. And then we do some like sideways fluidity, moving sideways with equal amounts of bulls and bears, moving sideways along support level, equal amounts of inflow and outflow, moving sideways around like the 5th and the 6th and the 7th, 5th, 6th, 7th, somewhere around there. There's trickery. We attempt to establish support on the 5th, and there's some sort of trickery is highlighted. There's a trade opportunity, swing trade opportunity on the 5th as well. So opportunity to open up a position, it looks like, on the 5th around the support level. When we're attempting to establish a support level, it looks like we have a trough in the middle of the day there. On the 6th, a male ruler of nations is highlighted. There's also, based on the ruins, something to do with a subordinate coming to the forefront. There's one local high on the 6th, and that's an opportunity around a support level, or when we're bouncing along a support level to cash in on a position. That same trade opportunity may be right around the end of the 6th or early on the 7th, or there may be 2 trade opportunities similar with another one on the 7th. Both of those take place near a local high. I've also reminded myself, or put a cautionary tip here between the 6th and the 7th for myself, if I do decide to trade around this, to heed adverse advice. So advice that I don't want to follow, I should really follow it. All right, out of that like sideways rotation, there's 3 crisscrosses after the male leaders highlighted. There's 3 crisscrosses through the same price level, confirming a bullish trend. We don't stay high above that on that bullish trend for long. We actually break down to and through a support level somewhere around the 8th, to and through a support level, and then we turn around and we rise back up and reuse that support level as support. There's also a move higher through a support level, through a resistance level, followed by a decline through that same price level shortly thereafter. As correlated to the abundance card. On the 9th, we have one local low. It's at an important price level, key technical level, and there's an important test of a key resistance followed by a decline through that important price level, or through an important price level to meet that secondary price level. And we have this big move here, guys. Big move to the downside, it looks like, between the 9th, that failed attempt to break through key resistance, through into that move on the 11th, or that month's trough on the 11th. We have a month's crest or prominent high, or I should say month's prominent trough on the 11th, and a prominent crest or high on the 12th, or around the 12th, where we move higher. And then there's a big move to the upside, followed by a full retracement back down from where that big move higher started, all the way back down to that same price level. We have sideways rotation around the 13th, may move into the 14th-ish. We have sideways rotation with a sharp dip in the midst of that sideways rotation, roughly early around the 13th. There's one local high, and that local high, this is likely our first month's high here between the 12th and the 13th, or it's a prominent high or trough here, but somewhere towards the end of this first row of timeline cards, it looks like there's a high. So we go from sideways rotation with a sharp dip here, one local high on the 13th, near an opportunity to open up a long position, and then we have sideways. We have volatility on the 14th, an opportunity to position oneself for both directions if that's possible to do, if you can like hedge yourself on SHIB somehow. There's a crest around the 14th, 15th-ish. Trade opportunity when we attempt to establish support on the 14th as well. 2 local highs on the 15th, a trade opportunity near one of those local highs early in the day. There's a big move to the upside on around the 15th, where we move higher out of oversold territory, or to fill a gap, possibly to fill a gap down. There's a price level here on the 14th, 15th that's highlighted in a trade opportunity around that as well. Both local highs are trade opportunities as well on the 15th. On the 16th, we have a high there's a high that's not revisited. It looks like we declined from, we're not going to revisit. Yeah, so that's a good opportunity, that high there, to sell. Probably regret not selling. If you're doing like short-term swing trades, probably would regret not selling on the 16th. Or not selling on the 16th. You'd probably regret not selling on the 15th, I should say. On the 17th, there's a bunch of local highs. There's one trade opportunity around an important price level where we'll notate that important price level when there's like a lull in volatility and volume kind of peters out. On the 17th, there's sideways fluctuations with a bearish trend that precedes a big rally. It looks like that sideways fluctuations takes us into a trough or major low for the month on the 18th. But there's a big move out of that low on the 18th to reach distant resistance level. On the 19th, a fast sudden move higher, marking the end of a period of decline. And it looks like that fast sudden move higher takes us to a month's high or another prominent crest for the month. This is very likely most likely the month's high here. Most likely the month's high here around the 20th. Trade opportunity in the midst, it involves a notable bottom or a decline to a notable bottom. Looks like we have one local low that forms when we have a breakdown to and through a support level to meet a secondary support level. We bounce around along sideways on that, and then we break down through multiple support levels. It looks like all of those the first two of those local highs on the 20th are likely trade opportunities as well. We have a swing trade opportunity there around that decline or prominent low. On the 21st, notable decline. It may have something to do with all crypto, not just SHIB coin, something global possibly. And there's a trade opportunity around an attempt to establish a support level. We have a sharp move higher, possibly breaking through resistance, even in the face of seemingly overwhelming headwinds, right around the 22nd. One local low that forms, and again, local lows are, one local low means on a one-day chart of the 22nd, there'll be one prominent low that stands out, and it'll take place near an important technical level. We have a correlation here on the 23rd. Correlation to the theme card, so a decline to and through a support level followed by rotation sideways along that support level, and there's a move higher along a move higher through resistance, followed briefly thereafter by a breakdown through that same price level as well there on the 23rd. This is interesting. Okay. Interesting. Yeah, so very likely a month's high here. I say that because we have the Princess of Wands at the high position on the 1 year here for August. We got the Princess of Wands coming up, so very close to the month's high. Looks like we have an important trough there, or maybe we opened lower than we closed on the 23rd, like notably. And then we rally higher out of that low, and it looks like there's an opportunity in the midst of that rally to open up a short position if you could do that with SHIB. Otherwise, sell, short term. There's a rally you want to get out of, maybe like short term or like for a day trade. We attempt to establish new support around a high here around the 25th. I'm advised to open up protection if possible, or just be very, very cautious by closing long positions here. On the 23rd, there's two local highs and a trade opportunity around the successfully turning resistance into new support. One of the local highs forms when there's a fast sudden move higher, marking the end of a period of decline. And it looks like there's a cooling trend midday there. Whatever the trend is midday, it's cooling off. We have another prominent trough here on the 26th. There's bumping along, we'll move sideways, bumping along resistance, may break through and bump along another resistance, but there's an important trough there. It looks like one local low that forms involving a revisiting of a past problem, so we may visit the same price level low that we had on the 24th. On the 27th, one local high that forms around an attempt to establish support. It's a trade opportunity, cash out, and there's a move higher through through a resistance level, followed briefly thereafter by a breakdown through that same price level and the sideways fluctuation. So around the 27th, we should see notable sideways S formation between horizontal resistance and horizontal support, where there's like a decline to support, then an incline to that resistance, and then a decline back to that support. On the 28th, we have a lot of sideways bullish rotation, but it's sideways rotation, increasing with bullish sentiment and momentum as we move forward into the day. There's one local high that forms. It's an opportunity to cash in, trade opportunity around, so it could be a day trade opportunity there. There's a trade opportunity around an attempt to, or successfully turning resistance into new support, at least momentarily. Okay, so this could likely be another month's high here. Interesting. It's possible we have another month's high here. But there's a prominent crest here on the 20th. On the 29th. And there's a fast, sudden move higher that takes us to that important prominent crest that we have on the 20 or around the 29th. There's two local highs on the 30th. One's an opportunity to cash in on a trade. The other one forms involving a fast, sudden move higher, marking the end of a period of decline. There's a lot of headwinds, negative headwinds, pushing SHIB lower on the 30th. On the 31st, we have sideways a U-shaped dip near some perpendicular diagonal trend lines, and there's also a correlation to a move higher through resistance, followed shortly thereafter by a breakdown through that same price level. The sneak preview for the following month is selling from near overbought territory, off of a crest of near overbought territory. So look out for that, my friends. And be careful again, because we have for the month of August, we have a bearish kind of trade opportunity here at the high. We have a month's or a year's low correlator in early September. And it looks like that's a really good time to get in. Is my sense is that's a really good time to get into SHIB. It's like maybe like the end of the first week of September, or the beginning of the second week of September, somewhere around there. Anyhow, guys, that's SHIB. If you want to see more SHIB, hit that like button. Guys, if it's before August 13th, go check out our Kickstarter. Support us, guys. This is how we're going to keep this channel rolling. We've got a financial astrology charting application that we've been building for over a year. It's 90% done. We've run out of funding just about, and we need to get this Kickstarter to keep our team moving forward. So check it out. Spread the word. If you know somebody who likes astrology and likes finance, this is it. This is what they've been waiting for. It's like the solar fire of charting software for stocks. Guys, when you make money from this reading, take a little bit of that and pay it forward. Keep that flow going. Take a little bit of that and pay that back to us right here at Approveb on Cash App. Show some gratitude, my friends. And take the rest of that, do whatever you want with it, as long as it's out of love. Karma's going to send that back to you tenfold in all directions, my friend. And I'll see you on the next one.